And of course, Chris Davis, the other individual.
Yeah, Chris was, to me, again, this is kind of a no-brainer because Chris had such a vital role in the WFCA and what we stand for, but also the Hall of Fame, the Floor Covering Industry Foundation. You know, Chris did many things that changed this industry as a whole, certainly that changed WFCA, and one of them I'll just bring out that I think has become kind of the juggernaut for why people join membership in the WFCA is our tuition reimbursement program, where we actually give back more than you pay to get in. So if it costs $275 for an individual to join the WFCA, Chris's idea was, let's show them that we're vested in them, that we're focused on their future and what they can become. Yeah. So we give back up to $500 a year until we cap out on what's allotted to people, even though they only give in $275. I hope that shows the point that we're not interested in your money. We charge a membership fee so that people will be engaged, that they'll be a part of it. Yeah. But none of that could have ever existed without the brilliance of Chris Davis coming in and saying, listen, this is something that will show people what we exist for and why we exist.
Now, when will this ceremony take place? Has that not been decided yet?
I don't think it's been decided at this point, no. But I think the press releases I saw said that something would be coming out in the near future. So hopefully by surfaces, we'll be announcing something about when that will take place.
Well, it would be good to have an industry event. I've always thought that. I mean, there hasn't been one in years as far as I know. And perhaps what we had talked about earlier, having all the industry organizations together would be an interesting time to have at least a major social event, which I think this industry sorely needs. The S600 installation standard, that's something that we've all lived. It seems like as a member of the family, we've been talking about that for so long. What's happening there?
No, I think, you know, as you get closer to the closure of something, that you begin to look more finely at the points and determining whether this is something that has to be a part of the document and whether it needs to exist. And first of all, let me say that it's taken a very long time, and to me it's taken too long to come to a completion of a document that I think is so vital to our industry as a whole. But at the same time, I do understand that there are a lot of parties at play in this, and every party has to be satisfied with the document. And I think what you're seeing right now are the final touches of people saying, okay, is this a document that in the end, once it's approved, we can live with? We're pushing harder than ever to come to completion on this. We would love to see something settled in the next 6 months, but I will just tell you that it is a focus. We're having a lot of additional meetings that we had not had before, really trying to drive this thing. All of us are in agreement that it's taken too long, and we're committed to trying to solve that.
Is there a chance that this may not come to pass?
Yeah, Dave, I guess there's always that chance. I mean, that's certainly not the goal. Our intent is that we come up with a solution that's agreeable to all parties and that comes to solution pretty quick. That's the intent. But yeah, and I'm probably not the right person to ask that question because I'm coming into this a little bit on the backside. Tom Jennings, our Vice President of Member Services, is the chairperson of the committee on the S600. Done a phenomenal job, has great relationships, and I can tell you he's as committed as ever to coming to a solution. I basically have come into this to be a support to him, to let people know that the WFCA is very committed to this.
Well, it just seems like, what has it been, 4 years? Or
a little over 4 years,
I've lost track, but it's been a long time.
I think we're going into the 5th year. Yeah.
And I think the CRI and the WFCA have really ramrodded this, you know, and nothing has really changed from day one when the idea was born.
Well, there have been a lot of things agreed to that people don't see because you don't come out with a partial press release. But we've also seen that some of the things that we thought were okay, we needed to reevaluate. There have been a lot of issues that have been taken from it. We thought the document was a little burdensome. It had a lot of information we didn't think was pertinent to this, especially to the parties that would need to utilize it from a training standpoint, from an implementation standpoint. And so we've gone back and removed some of that information that didn't need to be there. And we feel like we're in a better place with that part of it than we have been throughout the entire development of the document.
Well, I think a lot of us out there have our fingers crossed that this thing will come to pass. It surely is needed.
It is needed, and there are very committed parties to this. We've met with the installation groups, both union and non-union, that are very committed to coming up with a solution on this. They want this. This is not something being forced on them. This is something that they're craving for. Obviously, the manufacturers are very engaged, and we representing the retailers are very engaged as well.
And there's an awful lot of effort that's been put into this, and a lot of people have given up a lot of hours to get to this point in time.
A lot of hours and a lot of money, Dave. A lot of these installers are coming into these meetings at their own expense because they're committed to seeing something better come out of it.
Speaking about installation, the month or two, several months ago, there was an announcement about the WFCA and the CFI aligning to do workshops around the country. Great idea. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, we're very committed to the installation side of this for multiple reasons. We have a great partnership with CFI, with Jim Walker and Robert Varden. Great guys, very committed to the industry, committed to the installers in the industry. We also understand that there's been a time period during the downlapse and new home starts and restoration that a lot of installers just left the industry. And so you didn't have people being apprenticed into this. And so there's a likelihood as we begin to see an influx of growth in this industry that we're going to need installers and we don't have anywhere to pull them from. And so we're committed to getting people up to speed, to helping them understand the right way to do things, not just how to install, but how to install correctly. And I'm telling you, if you spend any time with Jim Walker, I can't think of anyone who knows that process better than he does. And so our goal was to sponsor 6 regional trainings around the country to really focus in on allowing installers within driving distance to come in and be impacted in all the product categories. And so we've got them committed. Let me see if I can reel these off for you, Dave. I know we're in Chicago, we are in Maryland, we're in Washington, we're in Atlanta, we're in one other location, and then one of them we've left open. We're in Kansas City. We're in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then we've left one of them open so that after surfaces, after hearing from people, we'll target that one where people told us they have the greatest need.
Interesting. Well, something that's surely needed. In fact, recruiting installers would be a good industry-wide effort, it would seem to me.
It would be. People need to understand the quality of these individuals who install our product. Makes all the difference in the world. That's the last person in the consumer's home who represents your retail establishment. Whether they're yours or whether they're subcontracted, they represent you. We want them not only to do the job correctly, but also to represent you correctly. So professionalism and the way that you interact with a retail store, all those things matter, and all that will be covered in those trainings.
The WFCA is a sponsor of Surfaces.
Correct.
Anybody that's been to Surfaces knows that there's that huge lounge back there that is put together by the WFCA. Talk about the efforts this time around.
Let me reveal something to you first, which most people will not know, but I, as the CEO of the WFCA, have never been to Surfaces. I've heard all about it. I know about it.
Incredible.
I have not been there. I'm afraid if I had told them that when I was interviewing, I might not be in this position today. But I did interview there last year prior on the pre-side of Surfaces. But man, I am so excited. I don't know if anyone's more excited about Surfaces than me to see and experience this. I know we have an established lounge area where we allow our members to come in and interact or just to get off their feet, to have a drink, to sit down with us and let us talk to them about our forward direction. We also have a new area that's off to the side, right kind of catty-corner to us, that is where a lot of our new vendor partners that are going to be focused on making a difference in our retailers and their establishments will be set up so you can sit down and talk to the gentleman who is helping to establish our new online training. You can sit down and talk to some of the ones who are creating new warranties above and beyond that will impact our members. A gentleman who comes in and looks at your business and truly helps you focus and refocus your business, possibly totally different than it has been in the past. Our marketing group, our PR group, all the people are represented there. And it gives you a chance to kind of put a face with the name, not just of our staff, who obviously will be represented, but also those vital partners that we have that we kind of consider family. They'll be there as well.
Well, it'll be great to see all this activity, and I'm sure there's an awful lot of people, awful lot of retailers around the country that would be interested in in membership and really haven't had an opportunity to learn about it.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing to ask them to join. It's another reason to show them why that makes sense. And being there where we're talking about all these new benefits and our forward direction, I think that makes it a lot easier decision. So certainly, listen, if you're at Surfaces, come by and see us. We would love to spend some time with you and sit down, have a Coke, and talk about what the forward direction is of our group and really quiz you, because it's not just about offering these benefits. It's also about finding out what benefits you don't have that you would like to have. And if we're in a place where we can create or bring that benefit to fruition, then we certainly will.
Good place to leave it.
Yeah.
Scott, thanks so much. It's great talking to you. I look forward to doing it in about 30 days.
Thanks, David. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody, Happy Hanukkah. WFCA is focused forward, and we'd love for you to be a part with us.
Very good. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
We've been talking with Scott Humphrey. He is the CEO of the World Floor Covering Association, the WFCA. And this is Talk Floor TV.